Hi, everyone. I'm Colette Clare, Senior Manager of IT Risk Control, and today I'm going to talk about multi-factor authentication. In order to understand why multi-factor authentication has been put in place, it's important to understand what has been driving multi-factor authentication adoption in the last 18 months or so. The first one is remote access and virtual private networks. Prior to the pandemic, an average of 10 to maybe 20% of companies were using remote access tools. Once the pandemic hit, within approximately a week, everyone was remote, but everyone still needed to access the company's services and servers in order to do their jobs. Remote access requires MFA. It's one of the key areas we can't miss. In May of 2020, Gartner launched enhanced remote access security with multi-factor authentication and access management. In this paper, they state that through 2021, any companies that rapidly expand remote access without implementing multi-factor authentication will experience 5 times as many account takeovers as those that currently use MFA. So, remote access cannot happen without MFA. The second one is the pandemic itself. All of a sudden, we are everywhere. Ordinary security that was implemented is suddenly out of bounds. We're now in our homes with our family, our kids, and honestly, most of us are not cybersecurity savvy. And our home network is not managed by the company administrators. We need to make sure that only the right users are allowed to log into the organization's network. That's why multi-factor authentication for login protection is important. It assures that only the employee can gain access to the network. Even when the pandemic is over, we now know that not everyone will be back to the office. Organizations need to plan and implement zero trust. And more than that, they should require their vendors to use MFA to access any resource on their network. If you think about privacy laws such as GDPR, not everyone associates it with multi-factor authentication. But protecting access to data is critical. You need to make sure only approved personnel have access to that. Let's go through a checklist of things you will almost for sure have to tackle and protect with MFA. The first one is email access. Someone may ask, why email? Maybe I don't exchange sensitive information from my email. First of all, you can't always be sure about that, and someone with access could impersonate you to get information. But that's not all, and a very important reason is that email is the main tool used to reset your passwords. If someone has access to your email, they can go to each application you use and reset the password, and they'll most likely be able to do that. It's the keychain to most applications. The second one, which is most obvious, is remote access and VPNs. Make sure each and every user can only connect by using MFA with no user being left behind. Administrator logins is another area. Look at remote access to servers and logging into your firewall for access to devices. Most administrator and privileged access needs to be authenticated using MFA. And finally, access to sensitive data like databases. If an attacker is able to get access to a database with very sensitive information like PII, PCI, or PHI, that means huge losses. Make sure you have a well-defined policy of who has access to sensitive data and how do they get access to it. The goal of these recommendations is to help you understand your requirements. Thanks for watching, and tune into ICAP's website for more great short videos. I hope you have a great day.